Imagine tasting a color or seeing a number as a specific texture. It might sound like something out of a science fiction story, but for some people, this is their everyday reality. Welcome to the intriguing world of synesthesia, a condition where your senses get mixed up in fascinating ways. If you've ever wondered how it feels to experience the world in a completely unique way, stick around. We're diving into what synesthesia is, how it works, and how it can turn ordinary experiences into extraordinary ones. Synesthesia is a neurological condition where the stimulation of one sensory pathway leads to automatic, involuntary experiences in another sensory pathway. This means that people with synesthesia might see sounds, taste shapes, or hear colors. It's like their sensory systems are cross-wired, creating a blending of the senses. The term synesthesia comes from the Greek word syn, meaning together, and aesthesis, meaning sensation. People with synesthesia experience a blending of sensations that most of us don't. For instance, they might see a color when they hear music or associate specific colors with certain letters or numbers. There are many types of synesthesia, each involving different combinations of senses. Here are a few common ones. Grapheme color synesthesia. This is one of the most common forms, where individuals associate specific colors with letters or numbers. For example, the letter A might always appear red, while B is blue. Chromesthesia. This form involves seeing colors when hearing sounds. For example, a musical note might be perceived as a specific color, like seeing a vibrant blue when listening to a piano melody. Lexical gustatory synesthesia. People with this type experience taste sensations when they hear certain words. For instance, the word apple might taste like an actual apple, or cat might evoke the taste of chocolate. Number form. Synesthesia. Individuals with this form see numbers in specific spatial arrangements. For example, they might visualize numbers laid out in a particular shape or path in their mind. Mirror touch synesthesia. This rare form causes individuals to feel the same sensations as someone else they are watching. For example, if they see someone being touched on the arm, they might feel a touch on their own arm. So, how does this fascinating condition work? The exact cause of synesthesia isn't completely understood, but researchers have a few theories. Cross-wiring in the brain. One popular theory is that synesthesia results from cross-wiring or increased connectivity between different sensory areas in the brain. This means that when one part of the brain is activated, it unintentionally stimulates adjacent areas. For example, when processing a sound, the visual cortex might also be activated, leading to the perception of colors. Increased communication. Another theory suggests that people with synesthesia have enhanced communication between sensory areas of the brain. This increased connectivity might lead to overlapping sensations. Research using brain imaging techniques, such as fMRI, shows that synesthetes often have heightened activity in brain areas associated with the senses they experience. Genetic factors. There's also evidence suggesting that synesthesia might be inherited. Studies show that synesthesia tends to run in families, and certain genetic factors might predispose individuals to this condition. However, more research is needed to understand the exact genetic mechanisms involved. Research into synesthesia has provided some fascinating insights into how our brains process sensory information. For example, a study published in the journal Nature Neuroscience found that synesthetes have greater connectivity between brain regions involved in sensory processing. This enhanced connectivity might explain why they experience sensory overlaps. Another study in the Journal of Neuroscience showed that synesthetes often have stronger and more consistent sensory experiences compared to non-synesthetes. This means that the colors or tastes they experience are vivid and reliable, not just random or fleeting sensations. To better understand what it's like to live with synesthesia, let's hear from some people who experience it firsthand. Sophie, a grapheme color synesthete, describes her world as a colorful landscape where letters and numbers come alive with their own hues. She says, "When I look at a page of text, each letter has its own color. The letter E is a bright yellow for me, while M is a deep green." James, who has chromesthesia, explains how music transforms into a visual experience. "When I listen to a violin solo, I see swirls of purple and gold. It's like the music is painting a picture in front of me. Emily, who has lexical gustatory synesthesia, shares how certain words evoke specific tastes. The word sunflower tastes like honey to me. It's an unusual but pleasant sensation. These personal accounts illustrate how synesthesia can enrich people's sensory experiences and provide a unique perspective on the world. Many synesthetes report that their condition enhances their creativity. The blending of senses can lead to unique artistic expressions and innovations. For instance, some artists use their synesthetic experiences as inspiration for their work, creating art that reflects their multisensory perceptions. Vladimir Nabokov, the famous author, had synesthesia and often described how colors and textures influenced his writing. Similarly, musicians and painters with synesthesia might use their ability to see music or taste colors to create works that are profoundly original and expressive. While synesthesia can be a source of creativity and wonder, it can also present challenges. For some people, the constant overlap of sensory experiences can be overwhelming or distracting. For example, grapheme color synesthetes might find it difficult to focus on reading if the letters are constantly changing colors. However, many synesthetes adapt to their condition and use it to their advantage. Some find that their unique sensory experiences help them in their careers or hobbies, while others learn to manage the sensory input in ways that make it less intrusive.